Between Two Bridges, episode 123. Excited for new customers?
Not all the time.
Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. This episode is presented by Wash. Visit the new convenient pickup and drop-off location at 21 Brilliant Avenue in Aspinwall, or click pickupwashdeliver.com and see how easy it can be to do the wash. This episode is also brought to you by One Tom Plumber. Fast, reliable, affordable, 24/7 plumbing and drain cleaning services throughout the Pittsburgh area. Save this number, 412-307-7622.
Between Two Bridges, episode 123, huh?
123 straight hours.
Yeah, well, I've watched a lot of, my algorithm set up for like Portnoy, pizza.
Yeah, I get a lot of that.
But, so I'm going to start something new in episode 123. I'm going to drink a different brand beer every episode until someone from Iron City comes on this show.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the Miller Lite in this week. Maybe Anheuser-Busch will call us up. But
I doubt it.
123 straight hours of drinking someone's product. You think they'd give us a shout out or something, you know? I was down there at their facility because they have a gift shop, and they were just rolling off the new draft cans. They're doing Iron City Premium draft cans for the draft. And I got a 15 pack of those, and I grabbed a 15 pack of Icy Light, my preferred brand. And dude, it's so fresh when you get it there. Mm-hmm. Because you know, some distributors have a high flow rate of Iron City and Icy Light that goes through it. Some of them don't, you know. So if you go to like some of these craftier places, they'll offer it to you, but it's been there a month, 2 months, you know. And they say beer doesn't age in a can. I could tell, you know.
You can tell. You're seasoned.
Yeah, seasoned. So it was crisp. It was fresh. It was good to go. But yeah, for now, Miller Lite, beer choice for Between Two Bridges. I mean, I said for now.
Yep.
Well, maybe I'll pour a Icy Light into this one. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't mind Miller Lite, but years ago when I made the switch, I made it for more reasons than just beer.
If I'm somewhere and they don't have if they don't have Icy Light, I'll drink Miller Lite. But
yeah,
I prefer Icy Light.
Yeah, I mean, it's local, dude. I mean, I like all the local stuff. It's hard. A lot of things we do, we can't even find local shit. Mm-hmm. But you know, one of the things that I'm running into is my new customers at the new store, and I know I've probably talked about it a little bit on here, but their items come in, and it is shocking to me to see like spots that probably are old that should have come out, the retention of soap and collars that make them look like dingy and like feel oily, like pure signs of like not cleaning shirts properly with hot water, you know, which is an industry trick to like save money, turn it
like other dry cleaners do it.
Yeah, like Giant Eagle's the people that do Giant Eagle work. They're trying to figure out every trick in the book to do it as cheap as they possibly can. Yeah, because they're working on a smaller margin than what they would if they was their customer. The like other thing that I notice a lot with pants is like creases. They have like 2 creases in them instead of 1.
Railroad tracks.
Yeah, and like sometimes like they have creases over here. It's because they're banging them out because they have such a quantity to do at these other places. And it's so frustrating because I'm like, dude, I know that you've given Giant Eagle probably, you know, $15,000, $20,000 in a lifetime in dry cleaning, and you don't care. And the only reason you're here is because it's more convenient. Mm-hmm. But like, I wish that there was there are some old timers, but like, if you don't know any better, you don't know, you know? So, I mean, I've had some white shirts come in that like I've tagged them in our system as gray shirts, and then we clean them, and I'm like, oh shit, that's 100% a white shirt.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, you probably deal with that in your line of work.
Yeah, we've picked up a handful of new clients this year. It's time of year, you know, beginning of year, we pick up a lot of new clients, both bookkeeping, accounting work, and obviously tax work. And it is always amazing to me when I see the level of work, quality of work at other firms. And I don't like to talk shit on competitors because, you know, everybody has their issues and we've had ours. but the quality of work that are coming out of these other firms, and I'm not talking about like
mom and pop
shop working out of their basement, retired guy, side hustle. I'm talking like
name on the back of the bus.
Legitimate like CPA firm charging hundreds of dollars an hour, should be better, and charging clients tens of thousands of dollars a year, and just putting out shit work that we're now having to go through the entire year worth of work and redo it because it's just wrong. I mean, we had one client in particular that their income was overstated by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Their revenue was overstated by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Their expenses were miscategorized. Their accounts weren't reconciled. They had invoices that were duplicated. It was just, and it was silly shit. Stuff that like, QuickBooks has, when you do bookkeeping in QuickBooks, there's certain things that QuickBooks has a tendency to make errors on. Any accountant that spends any time in QuickBooks knows that those tendencies are there. For example, if you say you received 3 checks in the mail today from 3 different clients, and one's 200, one's 300, one's 100. Okay, so you've got, what did that add up to? $600. So you go to the bank and you make a deposit for $600. You put that in QuickBooks and you put it in a way where you receive the payment for each of those invoices. QuickBooks by default is going to put that into your bank as 100, 200, 300. And then whenever that transaction hits your bank account, it's going in as one $600 transaction, right? So whenever that transaction downloads into QuickBooks, QuickBooks isn't smart enough to realize that 100, 200, 300 is actually the same as that 600. So that accountant, the one I'm talking about, was then just duplicating it. So now instead of saying, oh, I bet that 600 is actually these 3 invoices, they were just saying, oh, that's $600 more in sales. So now it's $1,200 in sales instead of $600 in sales. So they were in essence duplicating a vast majority of their revenue.
Yeah, so the client's like, I got all this fucking money, where's it at? Right.
And this client was savvy enough to go, there is no way I have that much revenue because there's just not enough money.
Right.
Something's not right.
Either someone's stealing a ton of money.
Well, and he's a one-man show.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he knows.
Yeah, that's
right. So he's looking at it like that's not right. Something's not right. And the best part is whenever that firm got fired, they're like, why? And couldn't understand why. And then when I'm going back through it, I'm like, dude, in the client he's not an accountant. He knew something was wrong.
But he didn't. Spidey senses.
He's like, my revenue, there's no way that I have all that revenue. Something's wrong. But he's not an accountant. He doesn't know why it's wrong. He just knows something's wrong.
Right. Well,
so I'm going through.
He get whacked on taxes on money he didn't make.
And he's nervous about that. And I'm looking at it and going, well, here's what happened. And he's going, well, that makes a lot of sense, but it wasn't like I could just go back and redo 1 month. Now I'm going back to January of 25.
Right.
And redoing 12 months worth of transactions.
Well, the fear is how long has he been his accountant?
And that's...
he might have already paid tax money on this money.
And that's a good question that we're eventually going to have to answer. But as of right now, it's something that we don't have time to answer.
Right.
Because we're in the middle of tax season and we have to get his 25 taxes done.
Right.
So...
in that scenario, if you overpaid taxes because of wrong books...
we can certainly go back. You can amend 3 years worth of returns.
Okay.
And you're allowed to amend 3 years and get refunds. So we we can do that, and we will.
Yeah.
But we have to document, justify. And if the IRS comes back and says, okay, well, why did you just whack $150,000 off of his revenue? I have to be able to say it's because his old accountant was an asshole and messed this all up. And I have to be able to substantiate it, which I will.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, that's the problem. And we picked up another client, and, when I first started looking at the books, I thought, oh, these appear to be clean. And then you start looking and you're like, oh, this balance sheet isn't even fucking close. None of these balances are right. And there's loans on here that aren't on the balance sheet at all. And, they're making payments on loans that aren't anywhere to be found. And the checking account balances don't make any sense. And this account isn't anything. And, there's just, it's a problem. And another problem that I have found in multiple situations is accountants that are billing for work that they haven't done, where they maybe are setting them up on an auto bill situation, and they're not completing the work. They're months and months and months behind. And then when it comes time to fire them,
They don't want to get it caught up because they got fired.
Well, yeah, they're not going to get caught up because they're fired. And when the work is that shoddy, you don't want them to catch up, but you've already paid them for a lot of that work. So yeah, it's a problem. It's not a good situation, but it also teaches you a lot as the owner of a firm that takes more pride in the work. We do things differently here. And, we talked a couple weeks ago about the possibility of acquiring other firms. And something I've learned in this process is, one, our hourly rate is not a lot, but it's higher than a lot of the firms around here, right? I wouldn't say it's a lot higher. It's higher than a lot of the firms. I don't like quoting hourly rates because it's not equal. It doesn't necessarily take me as long to do something as it takes the guy down the street, right? So you can't, when you take your car to a mechanic, they have a book, right?
Yeah.
That brake
They used to
job,
literally have a book.
right? And now that's in a computer, but they still have a book,
Right.
The brake job pays for this amount of hours. That's what they bill you for. There's no book when it comes to accounting services. It's really based on how long it takes. Right. So my hourly rate versus the guy down the street, you really can't compare that because it may not take me as long. But in addition to that, if he's doing shit work, it's really not comparable either.
Right.
But also, you have to stand behind your work in the sense too, where you have to know what you're getting into. I had, not to, talk shit and that's not what this intended, but just to kind of use an example, I had somebody reach out to give a quote to take over some books. And it's kind of a good example for any business owner in this, in this kind of situation. Give them a quote to do bookkeeping, and they wanted to know if it could be something that we could do like a trial, because it could be expensive for a business owner, right?
Yeah. It's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
You're turning over a bunch of information.
Right. And it's a monthly expense, and it's not something that you can really do for a short period of time. It's something you have to commit to. So they want to know, it's something we can do for a month and see how it goes. And it's really not.
Right.
Okay. So, and it's mainly because 9 times out of 10, that first month is going to take a lot more hours than a standard month, because I have to go through and clean up whatever bullshit is there, whether you did it yourself or whether you had some big legitimate CPA firm do it. It's probably still fucked up.
Right.
Or, a lot of times it's more fucked up when the old CPA firm did it.
And not only just fucked up, you got to get it on your end. You got to get it in your software. You got to, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
the onboarding process is very time consuming. So yeah, there's a lot more time at the very beginning. So, we try to keep, the the rates kind of flat. So we're not going to necessarily hit somebody with a big setup fee at the beginning, so that onboarding isn't really hard on a client that's starting out. But because of that, we need that year-long commitment.
Yeah.
And so that one month, it really doesn't make sense to do that because we need that time.
As you're saying that, I'm thinking like if a customer came to me and said, hey, can you give me free dry cleaning for a month? And then if you do a good job for that month, then I'll be your customer for
it wouldn't make sense to do it.
Then I'm like, why did you bring me 500 garments? And then it's like, oh, because you got all your shit cleaned up and now you don't need me.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly. It just wouldn't make sense. So
this isn't, you can't test drive this.
No, my advice to any business owner is it all goes back, we've said it so many times, the systems and processes, right? You build the systems, you build the processes, you figure out what your pricing model is. We've talked about it a million times before. Your pricing is probably higher than most dry cleaners, but it's like that for a reason. My pricing is higher than a lot of other accounting firms, but it's like that for a reason. And there's a reason why a lot of accounting firms are for sale right now and closing up.
Right.
Because the days of getting a tax return done for $80 or having an accountant do your books for $70 an hour, those days are gone. You can't survive.
I mean, we're based in Pittsburgh. People know there's not that many dry cleaners in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And I know 4 of the bigger players in the area that are for sale. I mean, they're all owners. They're all in their mid-60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
They have all ran the rat race for many, many years, never charged enough money. And the shame of the matter is they're not selling it because they can just close it and leave. They're selling it because they need that last payday so they can leave.
Right.
And that's a shame because it's either going to come to a head where they're just like, fuck it. I'll turn instead of turning the hot water down, I'll just turn it off.
Yeah.
And I'll just get as much as I can by doing as little as I can on the way out and then close. Or, you're just stuck. So if you don't charge right for your service, we're the ones that get to determine that.
This business has changed so much in the last several years where, tax season used to be hell for 3 months and then you didn't really look at a tax return the rest of the year. You didn't have to deal with anything. Well, now all this stuff's done by computers at the government. So any sort of variation between what we're filing and what they know, whether you got a 1099 and we didn't report it because you didn't give it to us or you didn't get it or it was $1 off, a computer caught that. It's all done by databases now. So we're constantly dealing with letters and there's so much back and forth now that the business has changed. And then we're required now to use everything's electronic. Like this year, for example, everybody, if you get a refund, it has to be a direct deposit.
Yeah.
There are no more paper checks.
That's one of the things that always like to me, and I mean, obviously I don't want to put your business on blast like accounting firms in general, but like, dude, how do I have to pay someone to do my taxes? Right. And then I do my taxes and we do it to the best of our knowledge above the board. And then they're like, oh, well, you hit the lottery for $1,000 and there was that 1099. It's like, if you knew, why didn't you send me an estimate and then I could defend myself with my accountant against your number?
Yeah.
Let's just go to court on day one.
Yeah. When I first started, I looked at it like you're paying me X amount of dollars to handle your taxes. And I had to kind of shift how I look at things now. And accountants have to shift.
Yeah, you're a financial lawyer is what you are.
Right. You're paying me that amount of money to fill out that form.
Right. You're a forensic attorney.
And then every
attorney.
piece of paper that I have to deal with from that point forward is an additional engagement.
Right.
And I'm going to stay with you, and I'm just the guy that's going to handle every aspect of that financial world for you. But what you paid me in March to handle your taxes, that was just to fill out that form.
Right.
And then everything after that, that's all more shit. And it didn't used to be that way.
Right.
But that's why there's the guys in their 60s and 70s, they don't want to deal with this shit anymore.
Right. I completely understand it.
You know, because it used to be nice because they could work for 3 months and then just work a little bit for the rest of the year, and they were good. But they made so much money in the first 3 months that they could just golf the rest of the year.
Well, see, and I think
not that way anymore.
I think that's the way our industry's gone. Is like these guys are afraid to raise their prices, but the piece counts are down.
Mm-hmm.
They're never gonna they'll never be like they were in the 70s when everything was wool.
Right.
You know what I mean? We watched a war film, Nuremberg.
Okay.
I might butcher that pronunciation. I had a gummy before bedtime or a melatonin tablet, so like my brain just goes. But they're in the courtroom and they're walking through the streets in Germany post-war, and every single person's wearing a suit. Mm-hmm. Those days are gone, brother. Yep. Like, I don't care if fashion flips or turns; it's never turning back to that. So like, if I'm only gonna do 425 shirts a day, and there's never gonna be the 1,000 shirt day for a regional dry cleaner. Mm-hmm. And it takes the money of $1,003 shirts. My nut's $3,000.
Right.
So like, I need to divide that 400 into it and charge accordingly to get to that nut.
Exactly. And then as your expenses go up,
gas goes up,
rent goes up,
poly goes,
labor rate goes up.
Yeah.
Everything else goes up. Then that not gets.
And that's what's crazy about raising. I mean, I'll use the shirt number. When we went to $5 a shirt, I thought I was crazy. I was looking at it the other day, and we're scaling towards like literally like having to go to like $5.65 a shirt, because it's just what it is. I got to keep my doors open.
Yeah.
And if fuel goes to $5, and I drive 14 miles to your house, it's $5 just to get there, and you put one shirt in the bag. I need to at least get that for that. You know what I mean? We don't do any minimums on our delivery because it's a scare factor for customers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And hopefully you piece it together so you're not really ever driving. And one of the things we looked at recently was like people that say yes to pickup and then don't have a bag. Like, we have to put a charge on that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but we're not doing this. The goal is to get rich or get comfortable, right? But if we don't protect ourselves along the way, like I'll make my money when my building's paid off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'll make your money when the building's paid off and some other things are paid. That's when the business owner will make money. But we're young still in this game. So we need to get paid along the way, or else we're going to be selling buildings and taking jobs somewhere else. And it was all for naught.
Yeah.
So the customers need to understand that.
Right.
And now a brief word from our sponsors. You've got a full plate. Kids, meetings, workouts, side hustles. There's better things to do than laundry. Introducing Wash, laundry reimagined for the modern world. Schedule your pickup in seconds via the convenient web app. Wash picks up your clothes, cleans with care, and brings them back fresh and ready to wear. But it's more than garments. From bedding and table linens to shoes, hats, purses, and more. Wash handles all your life's fabric, leaving you more time for life. Visit pickupwashdeliver.com to see how convenient it can be to do the wash. And now, back to the show.
You have to think about it, though. Think about something from a customer's perspective. Your customers aren't necessarily using you because you're the cheapest guy in town, right? They're using you because you do a good job. They like you. They like your staff. They appreciate the service that you provide.
Right.
I think, from my clients, I think that the vast majority of them, that's the case. There may be a handful of them that are coming here because of a price. But I don't think that that's even 10%. Okay.
Well, we're both in trust businesses too.
It's exactly.
Exactly.
And you have to think about, if I have to raise my price on a tax return 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks in order to survive. If I don't do that next year, they have to go find somebody else to trust.
Right. And like, I think as our businesses expand and we do what we do, we look for clients that then fit our mold. You know, we're not looking for every client, right?
And that was it's exactly my point that I'm making with the people that reached out and they wanted to. Sometimes not every client is your customer.
Right.
And you have to be willing to say no to somebody and say, listen, I'm not willing to discount my service.
Right.
I'm not willing to do some sort of trial. I'm not willing to change my system, my process. Yeah. This is the way I do things.
I'm very hesitant on that discount marketing. Like, I hate it. I mean, I've done some things where like we'll do like a bulk discount trying to drive some revenue, but like I hate it because then we aren't a discount cleaner. So why am I giving new customers a discount?
Yeah, and you have to be careful discounting shit because you're shitting on people that
committed to you.
That committed to you and they're paying full price.
If you ran a special that said any tax return $99,
and then
have people that have been doing business with you for 10 years, they'd be like, fuck this.
Right.
But I mean, I kind of broke it down like our wheelhouse, like a good client of ours would spend like probably about $2,000, maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a year. And then you think about people's wardrobe. You know, some people have $10,000 worth, like $10,000 worth of clothes hanging in a closet isn't that much whenever you start looking beyond the walls of Macy's and like, you know, if you go to Saks and you're buying clothes, $10,000 could be fucking 20 items, you know? So do you really want to discount that? Like those are the people that I'm trying to connect with. Like, do you really want to take that to Giant Eagle and like take a chance and see what you get? Like, you shouldn't. You should find somebody. And like, if you're serious about like advancing your business along, you need to have a good accountant. You need to have someone that's in your corner because, speaking from experience, and you are my accountant, so a little feather in your cap, when it comes time to make a move or like buy a piece of equipment or a building, or you're going to need your accountant in that moment because unless and there's business owners that know their shit better than I, but like, unless you really know every financial intricacy of your business, you need to present a case to the bank that says this dude can take that money and he will give it back. He doesn't know how he'll give it back, but we're good here. You know what I mean? Like, you're proving a case. And like, for other accounting firms to not do it right, like, could you imagine if that client goes in and they got cooked books unintentionally, and that, you know, they get a big loan because they don't know their business, and then they're like, well, wait.
Yeah, especially that client that's got all that overstated revenue. And what happens if the bank actually does any digging into that, and then they're like, wait a second, your revenue is $200,000 less than what you put on that profit and loss statement?
Or you deposit it into the bank.
Yeah, like that. Why do your deposits not match what you put on that tax return? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, or the IRS flags it and wants to know where the other money, where they're coming for the money. Like, hey, where's the money?
Right. Yeah, that's a problem. And ultimately, the scary part of it is that business owner is the one that's responsible. The tax preparer is not responsible for what's on the tax return. The business owner, the taxpayer is responsible for what's on the tax return. And that you have to be careful, man. You have to understand what's on that tax return because you're the one that's responsible for it, not the preparer. They sign it, but you're signing it too. Yeah, I mean, you have to. So ultimately, you know, if there's a mistake on those books, you know, they're the one that's responsible for it. But you know, what boggles my mind is, as a CPA, they're licensed, and you know, they could be held liable by that business owner. And I don't know. It just boggles my mind. Putting up. You know, it's one thing to get behind. It's one thing to, you know, we've gone through it, man. We've had our issues. We've worked through them. I've worked so hard to build better systems and better processes to stay current and better communication with our clients and fix these problems. And the way we did it is we shook off some clients. I mean, we reduced our workload and focused on the ones that mattered. And we did a lot to improve our systems here. And by doing that, my main focus was making sure that the quality of work leaving this building is correct. It's perfect. I want profit and loss statements to be accurate. I want balance sheets to be accurate. I want bank reconciliations done. That's important.
Right. And I'm like a firm believer that a dry cleaner that's putting out 5,000 garments a day, they're just a factory, dude. They're not going to catch it all. Right. I mean, granted, they'll probably honor their mistakes, but like, what if they can't fix it, you know? Right. And I'm not saying I don't make mistakes. Like, we're in a weird time where like clothing manufacturers, like you said, like there's no onus on the guy that makes the shirt once it's sold. Like, I mean, you could say, I'm going to go back. Who are you going back to? It's made in the factory in China. There's a local men's clothing store, not Tom's place, but it was some swanky men's clothing store in Lawrenceville. And I had a problem. The shirt shrunk. I mean, it did shrink. We cleaned it as the care tag, you know, we did everything right. Maybe even did it more than right, because I felt like it, like on my end, I felt like it shouldn't go in a dryer at all because it was going to shrink. So we hung it to dry and we did everything right, and the customer wasn't happy. So we went back and forth. We tried to make it right, and you know, I always will offer a store credit on our end first. And he said, you know, unfortunately that store abruptly closed Saturday, like while we were talking. And I was like, yeah, because they're selling shitty shirts. You know, but like I still honored my story. I was like, no, it's for the cleaners. You'll get a cleaner's credit. But like, you also got to stand behind when you make a mistake, you know? But I think that there's a way to like treat people, right? And I think that we feel similar on that. And I don't think that if you had 10,000 tax clients, I think you lose all that. Mm-hmm. Like you can't duplicate yourself, you know? And I have a really good staff right now, but they're not overworked. You know what I mean? I'm not asking them to do too much. You know what I mean? Like, I know we could do more. I know with one more person, we could do a lot more, but like that new person needs to be right, and they need to have time to ramp up. You know, we've gone through some slow times, but we ramp up a little bit. But it's nice to also have those slow times to kind of like let everybody get their feelers in and, you know, look over some stuff. But like, I check the stuff, it's good. My girl checks the stuff, it's good. And, but if you get too big, you're out over your skis, you know, and these places, they put in steam tunnels and they're, you know, I get it. I get their game, but they've got to that point where they've made that their beast, you know. The only way that their business works is if they get 5,000 pieces for that day, you know. Like, I'm not building mine to be that way, you know. So I guess as a consumer, you need to do your research. And like as a business owner, you need to get an accountant that's going to have your back, you know. So like for us to expand, that's why we always look for other avenues, like, right? We're always looking for other revenue streams because our businesses are very personable mm-hmm. and we have the same goals of like, we want our customers to be happy and satisfied and get value for the money they're spending with us. And that's a dance that business owners have been dancing for as long as time, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to turn down 5,000 pieces, but I would have to really restructure how I do work. Like, I would have to pay someone to stand there every day and check every single piece. Mm-hmm. And they'd stand there probably for 3 months with me because I'd have to stand there with that kind of volume. But that's not our goal. Our goal is to find those people that care about their wardrobe, and then they can trust us. And you know, it's just a blip. So, I mean, I see some of our past guests, their businesses have expanded, you know, and that's one of the things I'm sure that they worry about at night. It's not about the money then, you know, like you put your product out there and then you expand to another location and you can't be at both places at the same time. Yep. Nice thing about the dry cleaning business is it all goes through the plant. So it's like, that doesn't change. I can have 10 locations. That product's going to be the same because I control it there. But if you're cooking a hamburger here and you open a place here, that burger could be different. And right. You see that a lot with restaurants. Like, I'll go to the original, you know, like Permani's. Like, I swear Permani Brothers is better than the Strip.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So, and so that in the food industry, like, I mean, I thought that was a shocker. I was in a pinch like a week or two ago. I got a Pizza Hut pizza at Target. And dude, you bite into it and it tastes like a Pizza Hut pizza. There's not a Pizza Hut oven. It's in the back. You know, they're just cooking them in the kitchen. But it's like they figured out a way to make their product the same all the way across the board. Mm-hmm.
Systems and processes.
So an update, dude. I had the big arch.
Did you?
Dude, I did.
Did you take a little bite?
Oh, no. And I should have taken a little bite.
Was it not good?
Dude, it was the same McDonald's effect of any other burger, dude.
Did you shit your pants?
There was like half an hour later, my stomach was rolling, dude.
Not good.
Not good. I'm like, yeah, because they're still cooking it. It's still some greasy ass shit. And yeah, it was not very good.
Did it taste good?
Yeah, it was very good tasting. Like it had all the good, but like I swear the special sauce on that's very similar to the Big Mac sauce.
Okay. So somebody said it was more mustardy.
I don't know if I have that big of a palate. But yeah, I ate it and was like, oh, this is a bad gig. Because for years I would eat, I think until about recently, really like last year or so, when my kids would go to McDonald's, I'd get a Big Mac or I'd get a burger. But like, I can't anymore.
Did it have you know how every McDonald's burger tastes the same?
Yeah, it tastes like McDonald's.
It tastes like a McDonald's burger?
It was not like a Whopper or anything like that. The Whopper to me doesn't seem as greasy as McDonald's.
No, because it's on a flame grilled.
Yeah. Dude, I swear that they have like a little mechanism in the back. They're like, does anybody hit the flame button yet? And they just hit the button and throw some smoke out the window. But yeah, it wasn't anything worth running out to get. You know, it was like a double quarter pounder with a special sauce. You know, it wasn't like...
Really?
Yeah. So that Hoopla, they probably realized that they missed the mark on the product. Had that dude do a video, got some street cred, and they ran with it.
What a bummer.
Yeah. McDonald's it's all about the property, bro. So,
what a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of like disappointed after I ate it. I was like, oh man, maybe the next bite will be good. Nah. Stick to Five Guys. Five Guys does it right. And that's the same thing. You pay more money, but you get a better product and you leave there happier.
Dude, Five Guys is the best.
Yeah, very good.
It's like $80 for a burger, but
I know, you take your kids there, look out. You could be in for a mortgage payment. Then they're like, oh, by the way, we have milkshakes. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He can't read. He doesn't know you got milkshakes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, God forbid you fucking Uber Eats there. Dude, you'll spend, a family of four, you'll spend $1.20 for fucking burgers.
Like, we could have went to Ruth Chris.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Like, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. Let them eat that. And then you just go to like the Lamont.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. McDonald's figured it out. That's a company that did figure out how to make the shit product the same across the board. But that's another price point. You're paying for convenience, you know? Like, and it's funny because my kid will tell you, like, I could put a steak down, he won't eat it. But if I put a McDonald's cheeseburger down, he'll eat it. I'm like, kid, if you only knew, dude. Like, if you only knew. So, but we were the same way as kids, you know, the shit we probably ate. A lot of Cinnamon Toast Crunch meals in my house. But my grandma would cook, like, I would die for some of the meals she cooked, you know what I mean? And I didn't eat them then because I was a chooch.
This episode is also presented by One Tom Plumber. At One Tom Plumber, in-house licensed plumbers bring rapid response and expert solutions straight to your home or business. Whether it's an emergency or routine plumbing service, they're your one call 24/7 to clear the problem and restore comfort. Trusted across Pittsburgh and surrounding communities with transparent pricing, respectful service, and true reliability. Save this number for when you need it most. 412-307-7622. That's 412-307-7622. Or visit BetweenTwoBridgesPodcast.com/support.
We got some people making some money here. The NFL free agency window's wide open right now. Making moves.
Pittman's coming to the Berg. Pittman's coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. McAfee's all fired up.
Yeah, he's not.
Kind of showed his true colors there for a second. He was more of a Colts fan nowadays than he is a Steelers fan. So, but yeah, I mean, and then there was that renege on the trade. Like
Max Crosby got shipped back to Vegas.
I thought like he maybe tripped and fell in a physical or something. He had meniscus surgery 8 weeks ago. And the doctor that did the surgery put a statement out saying he is like right on, like his knee in an x-ray looks exactly the way a knee should look 8 weeks post-surgery, if not better. So like they knew that going into this. I think there was a little buyer's remorse. Like they got excited and then they realized, oh fuck, we just gave away 2 first-round picks for this dude?
Yeah, I saw a meme, but I think it was one of those bullshit Pittsburgh Steeler Facebook groups saying that Steelers picked him up. But I think it was fake.
If I was him, I'd be like, fuck it, send me back to LA. Go back to Vegas and play, because they got a lot of free agents coming in, first round draft pick, and they took that center. Dude, in my lifetime, I never thought that you'd be talking $80 million for 3 years for an offensive lineman at center. But that Tyler Linderbaum from the Ravens, he got a big deal. Good for him.
Yeah.
So Vegas is some of these towns like Florida, like in Vegas, they don't have income tax, right?
Right.
So like they're gonna have to figure out a way to offset that, because $80 million in Vegas means a lot more than $80 million in Pennsylvania. So like, as these numbers get higher, I think that the league is gonna have to, every professional sports league is gonna have to look at a way to like, all right, balance that somehow.
Yeah, especially whenever like these guys played in California for the Super Bowl and ended up having to pay to. They lost money.
Yeah, they lost money because California's on the take. Dude, I don't get that at all, of how certain states can do that to people, you know. And it's not like California, like, yeah, there's LA and like people, there's wealthy pockets of California, but there's also impoverished areas in California. So it's not like everybody that works in California can afford to pay a fucking 40% income tax. But I don't know what the income tax rate is there. You don't have to know either.
No, I think it's either 9.5 or 12.5.
Right. That's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, they're making moves. Steelers are, I mean, all they need is a quarterback, which happens to be the most fucking important position.
Rodgers is coming back.
Come on back, baby.
You called it for McCarthy. I'm calling it for Rodgers.
There you go.
Rodgers is coming back. He's playing for McCarthy. He's going to be throwing to DK and Pittman.
They say Pittman's like an ideal Rodgers receiver. And like everybody has these opinions online, like in all these different like outlets. There was I think Greg Jennings, he was a wide receiver back in the day. He was like, Pittman's just like DK Metcalf. I'm like, what are we talking about here?
So?
Like, yeah, but he's not. DK is a one of a kind talent, and Pittman does different shit. Like, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great, and they're perfect opposite side of each other. And imagine, I saw a video talking about, think about the size of these guys. DK's 6'7", Pittman's 6'5", fucking Washington's 6'7".
Dude, we should just fucking enter the NBA. Just go play hoops.
Freiermuth is 6'5". Dude, these guys we got some big guys.
Yeah. This is like, actually, other than like Sundays, I enjoy this time of year because everybody's got a chance to win it all, right? Mm-hmm. Like, everybody's got a chance to
It's fun. I like watching the wheeling and dealing. I like the free agency. I like watching, I like hearing about the draft, and I like watching and hearing about the wheeling and dealing.
I saw a ridiculous stat that the Ravens 2023 draft class just signed extensions for over $300 million, and every one of their draft players,
Ravens,
not people they retained, like all like that Linderbaum, like all these guys went out and got, and that's not typical. Like normally you have 2 or 3 guys from the draft class that just aren't in football anymore. These dudes are all signing big money extensions, and I saw some of the Ravens players ended up in New York because of Harbaugh.
Yeah,
and so.
We lost Gainwell. Where'd he go?
I don't even know, man.
I saw he got signed somewhere.
Yeah. I think that's because we picked up that Dowdle.
Yeah.
And he's a solid interior runner. And so is Warren. But Warren, when he was at his best, is outside in the open. He can catch the ball. He can do everything Gainwell did. But for some reason, Artie Smith wanted Gainwell to do that and then banged Warren up the middle. And then Warren got hurt. And that's what happens when you go up the middle. So it'll be neat to see, because actually, like, you think, I caught myself thinking, like, where do these players fit into our scheme? But our scheme's totally going to be different. So it's going to be a different team. Day one. It's going to be refreshing. You know, it's not going to be the 3 yards and punt. And
hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be -2 and fumble. But it'll be refreshing.
We don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. It'll be the first time in, 19 years,
We might be 2-16 there.
Dude, I heard something that...
2-15.
I heard somebody say online, it said, Steelers are bolstering their roster to go 10-7, and they just have White Mike as their coach. And I'm like, that's so fucking funny, dude. But, we'll see about Rodgers. I mean, they kind of said that they gave him a deadline, but deadline's come and gone. Deadlines are for suckers, Yeah,
they wanted a decision by the combine. Or they wanted a decision for the coach by the combine. They got that.
Yeah. And they wanted a decision on him, I think, before the tampering period, which is come and gone. He controls whatever the fuck he wants to do. He deserves that, though. The
thing is, though, just because we don't know.
They know. Yeah, Tomlin said it in his presser at the end of the year last year. He said he knew all along.
Yeah. So they probably know.
But,
especially McCarthy. I mean, him and McCarthy are tight. They're boys.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
They played together. I mean, he played for him for years.
Hey, I could be a quality 3, dude.
Yeah.
I'll take league minimum. Fucking Q3.
Yeah, what's league minimum? $750.
Depends on how long you played. But yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be for a season. It's got to be pushing $1 million. Baseball might be like $1,300, but I don't know. Some of them baseball players are getting asinine contracts. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just weird how, because like obviously we're based in Pittsburgh, and if you rewound the tape to 8 months, we were very pessimistic about every sports team in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Like the Penguins were going into a downturn. Their team's old. They can't compete. Well, here they are. They're in a playoff position, and they're damn good. They're a good 5-on-5 hockey team. Like they suck on 3-on-3. They're not very good in the shootout, but none of that matters. Just get in the playoffs because it's all 5-on-5 the whole game anyway. So there's optimism there. The Pirates are there's some pep in their step. They're one of the best teams in preseason baseball. And then the Steelers are making moves. So it's like the tide's turn. We got 40. By the time this airs, it'll be almost a month till the draft, which the closer that gets, my mind doesn't know how to function about it. 700,000 people is a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, it's going to be wild here.
The whole town's going to be a buzz. So I might just go to fucking camp or something. I don't know, because that's going to be a lot of people. That's going to spill into the suburbs. There's going to be, hopefully, if you wanted to rent your house for the opening, you couldn't. You rented it for the draft. So.
Do a little Augusta rule?
Yeah. That sounds so good in theory. But, Mike, if I had to fucking get my house to rent right now, I couldn't even get it ready in time. You got shit everywhere. Winter, you just throw stuff in the garage.
Listen, if somebody wanted to give me $50K to rent my house for 2 weeks, I would have my house empty today. I'd have my garage full of all my shit.
Yeah, that kind of number.
Piled on top of my Corvette.
I'd rent a U-Haul. I'd just rent a U-Haul and fucking drive it down the road and park it.
Chucking shit into my garage.
Yeah, for that kind of, but for $7,000 though.
Nah, fuck that.
I mean, $7,000 sounds
Your house
like
would go more than for $7,000 though.
Yeah, but then like I said, we got to figure out where we're going. I don't know.
The fuck out of town.
I'd like to get my house involved in the movies because I live on that dead end street. They wouldn't be bothered. They could do whatever because they'll do wild amounts of shit to your house.
Yeah.
So, I knew a guy that was filming Banshee for Netflix, and they were filming it on his property. He had a farmhouse, and the kitchen that they had just done didn't fit the producer's mind for a kitchen. They wanted to redo the layout. New appliances. So they redid it all, right? And he had an option. He could have it returned back to his kitchen or keep the one they put in. And the one they put in was 3 times nicer than the one he just put in, so he just kept it. But they paid him to rent the house, then renovated the house to make it fit their spec.
How do you sign up for that?
I know. Hey, which cameras, both of us? We're both in.
Yeah, come renovate my kitchen.
So I know that there's different things you can put in. But they have to come and scout your house, and they will. They almost shot a Heinz commercial at my drive-through window on McKnight. They just pulled the plug. It was funding became an issue or whatever, but I was like, they were like, we need it for 2 days. Figure out what, your average day is. I'm like, dude, I'm in. I'll shut down tomorrow. They wanted to like redo the awnings and shit to make it look. So I think what that was when McDonald's stopped serving Heinz ketchup. They wanted to go out because like I was like one of the only drive-through windows that faced McDonald's drive-through window in the country. And what their plan was to go through the drive-through of McDonald's and be like, hey, do you have any Heinz ketchup? And they got away from Heinz, so they didn't, and then go back out and swing around into my drive-through, and I was just going to be a Heinz ketchup and just give out ketchup out of my window. That was their plan. So the legal team was probably like, you can't go after McDonald's. What the fuck's the matter with you? But I was like, that would have been awesome.
That would have been hilarious.
So, but yeah, so I mean, we got a lot of things to look forward to in Pittsburgh. So, but I got shorts on today. When this airs, it'll be 28 degrees out.
Yeah.
So that's that time of year. Pittsburgh, the city with 4 seasons, all sometimes in a day.
Yeah, sometimes all in one day.
And you're inching into that tax season wrap up, kind of.
I'm getting there. About a month left when this
One of the better tax seasons you've had.
Yeah, the change that I made this year, not sitting with as many people, was key.
Yeah,
it's been way better. I've gotten so much more accomplished. Been able to keep track of things. Doesn't seem to affect the business at all as far as volume of work. Clients are good.
I noticed you installed some bars on the window out front, so your employees are not able to leave.
No, yeah, they're stuck here. But no, it's been really good.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I think that February is such a downtime of year that it's easy to get like down on everything that you're doing, and then March is like a ramp up, and then by April, May, you're just swinging for the fences, right? Mm-hmm. So keep on keeping on.
That's it.
So,
all right, until next week, buddy.
All right, love you, bud.
Love you too, bud.
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Visit our website for links to all the businesses we've showcased, additional content, and merch. If you or someone you know would like to be on the show, email us at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Till next time, make it till you rake it.
You ready? We got 12 ounces to figure this out. Oh. Edit. No, I didn't get it on the rug.
Jesus Christ.
That's going to be in it, dude.
I hope it is.
Episode 123.
The episode Joe drinks Icy Light out of a Miller Lite can.